Okay, let's dive into something you probably think you know inside and out, your senses. But what you think you know is really just the tip of the iceberg. We're about to completely rewire your understanding of what it means to be human.
So, let me just ask you a simple question. How many senses do you have? Take a second. Think of the number.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess you landed right here. 5. Sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. It's what they teach us in kindergarten, right? It feels solid, it feels definite, it feels correct.
Well, what if I told you that number isn't just a little off? It's not even in the right ballpark. It's basically ancient history. We're talking about an idea that's more than 2,000 years out of date.
So what's so interesting is where that number 5 even came from. You have to go all the way back to the philosopher Aristotle, around the 4th century BCE. He came up with the list based on his own observations. You know, philosophy, not neurology. The idea stuck around because, hey, it's simple, it's easy to remember. But science has definitely moved on.
So what's the real number? Are you ready for this? According to modern neuroscience, you have at least 33 distinct senses. Yeah, you heard me right, 33. This isn't just a minor update, it's a completely different map of how we perceive reality.
Now, to make sense of all these new inputs, scientists had to come up with a whole new framework. They've moved way beyond just a simple list, and it gives us a much, much clearer picture of what's going on. So instead of one big messy bucket, think of it like 4 main folders. First, you've got your exteroceptive senses. Those are for everything happening in the outside world. Then, proprioceptive senses. Those track where your body is and how it's moving. Interoceptive senses monitor the inside of your body, like your organs. And finally, equilibrioceptive senses, which, just like it sounds, are all about your balance. This structure helps us understand what our nervous system is actually doing 24/7.
All right? With that map in our hands, we can start to explore our own inner universe. And you're going to see just how much more there is to perception than the classic 5.
Let's start with those external or exteroceptive senses. Of course, we've got the ones we all know and love, vision, hearing, smell, and so on. But here's where it gets interesting. Science now separates what we used to just call touch into specific senses. For example, thermoception, that's your sense of hot and cold, and nociception, your sense of pain. These are totally distinct senses with their own dedicated wiring. They're not just flavors of touch.
Okay, now for a really cool one. Proprioception. I know, it's a mouthful, but this is your body's incredible, unconscious ability to know exactly where all its parts are without you even looking. You have these tiny receptors in your muscles constantly sending updates to your brain about where everything is. And here's the perfect illustration. Go on, try it right now. Close your eyes and try to touch your finger to the tip of your nose. See? You can do it. That's not magic, my friend. That is your proprioception in action. It's a sense that is absolutely essential for literally any coordinated movement you make. Then you've got interoception. This is basically your perception of everything going on inside your own body. That feeling when your heart is pounding, the rumble in your stomach when you're hungry, the urgent feeling of thirst. All of those are distinct sensory inputs, and they're all critical for keeping you alive.
To really see how vast our sensory world is, just compare an obvious external sense like hearing with a super subtle internal one. While your hearing is detecting sound waves from outside so you can be aware of your surroundings, a sense like baroreception is silently, constantly monitoring the blood pressure inside your arteries. A lot of these internal senses work completely under the radar, on autopilot, keeping your body in balance without you ever having to think about it.
So here's the really mind-blowing part. Having 33 separate channels of information is one thing, but the true magic is how your brain takes all of that noise and turns it into one single seamless reality. It's like a conductor leading a massive orchestra.
This quote from our source material really says it all. The true marvel isn't just that we have a sense for pain or a sense for body position, it's the brain's synthesis, the way it fuses all 33 inputs into one coherent experience.
And I've got the perfect example of this, flavor. See, flavor is not the same thing as taste. Taste, or gustation, that happens on your tongue. But that rich, complex experience we call flavor is actually created when your brain combines the signals from your taste buds with signals from your sense of smell. It's a beautiful act of multisensory integration, creating something totally new from 2 separate inputs. So, you might be asking, why does any of this really matter? Is it just cool trivia? Well, moving beyond Aristotle's 5 senses does more than that. It fundamentally changes how we think about ourselves and our connection to the world around us. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's the sheer complexity happening behind every single moment you're awake. The old model is like a stick figure drawing of reality. The 33 sense model, that's the full-color, high-definition, surround sound neurological orchestra that is constantly composing your world.
And, understanding this bigger picture helps explain all sorts of strange things, like the ventriloquism effect, where your eyes trick your ears, or kinesthesia, where people might see colors when they hear music. It also opens up new possibilities for therapies that can target very specific sensory pathways. It really just deepens our entire understanding of the human experience.
So we'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. If our entire reality is built by this orchestra of 33 different senses, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What else is out there that our biological hardware just isn't built to pick up on? What are we not perceiving?